Okay, fine. So the music thing isn't exactly true, but it sure felt like it. Hey there, everyone. Saka playing the second reality project. Dose. No, not 2R. They're not on the same place in the alphabet. Iceberg 1, because we sure love our lettuce. Hey guys, there's an invisible wall here. Oh, there's just the keyhole. There ain't the key. I suppose you can tell if you look at the difference between the walls and the things. That's a precise sentence. I think it was, well, I don't know, like, Super Mario World, the original game, actually legit used that trick in World 5, so is it clever? Is it not? It's World 2, who knows? This happens, it's secret exit way at the start. At the very least, the secret exit's at the start, so that you don't need to redo the level 2 times. I don't even need to do any fast forwarding or editing shenanigans or anything. Also, I did get the verification that Goomba Playgrounds does, in fact, for some reason, have only 3 dragon coins, which is kind of a funny, rather unpolished omission, but whatever. The details don't make the broth. I'm aware that you can use the key there to get yourself a boost of Accelerado, but honestly, I'd rather keep my fine underwater controls than be all like, oh man, it goes so slow. A real well-made water level won't necessarily feel any slower than, you know, a well-made not underwater level. You don't actually move that slow, honestly, if you keep gunning it and all that. It's really just that a lot of people don't know how to design water levels all that well because it does not have the same fundamental rules, and some people go like, oh well, you got more absolute control. Better add 1,000 more things to avoid everywhere. But I digress into forever sense, which is, you know, it's the sense you feel forever when you become transcendental and meet Buddha up in heaven and go, hey buddy, how's it going? And you give him a high five and you get beaten up by fish. Heaven's a pretty weird place. I think that's why most people ultimately decide that it's a better idea to just get reincarnate into hippopotamus or some other sort of crazy ironic animal that somehow represents their past life, while giving them a chance to start anew. A lot of people, like a lot of beliefs out there, have a that was pretty dumb on mine. I was looking at Torpedo Tez rather than looking at the fishies. Oh, jeez. A lot of religious thoughts and philosophies out there have a fairly positive outlook on death, and I think in a sense, you know, it makes sense. You know, like, at the time, the job of religion was to figure out stuff that people were not able to figure out, and you kind of want to take a positive outlook on things. Like, grandma's gonna die no matter what, so, you know, let's try and make the kids happy by talking about the deadness of disco. Such a silly name. It makes sense in the context of this level with its crazy graphics, but in the original game, it was just a ghost house level, but, you know, dead disco anyway. I forget if there's anything really related to anything, anywhere, anything. Well, I know I can use... Oh, I missed a dragon coin, and a flashing light ball, it goes like beep beep. There's still some electricity being expended in this old house somewhere, somehow. I'm pretty sure the electrical company would have noticed at some point and shut down the power, but maybe they just don't care. Or they forgot. Or this is the electrical power. They just call it this disco because, you know, it used to be the disco company, fluorescent lighting and powerhouse building by the shore of the lake over in World 1. I always thought this game was okay at doing a pretty good job at, yeah, it was okay at doing a good job. It's pretty fancy. At, making the world, like, correspond to the overworld with a lot of little details like that and a big sense of overworldy continuity. You know, the worlds exist within their context. I don't know. Want to see if there was a thing there. I I've never done a Dragon Coin run, so I don't, like, I know the levels well enough to complete them, but, not necessarily for where are at all the Dragon Coins, so there's still some amount of exploration I have to do a little bit. This is such a wonderful feeling inside my head, and I won't share it with anyone. Oh, that's kind of a rude thing, cow. Why would you be so bluntly honest on the internet? Where are we at? I don't know, we're in Space-Time Capsule Pinball. A favorite place to space-time capsulate and pinballerate. The latter being somewhat illegal, you know, since 1913, as most of you are aware. I try not to speak too much about it. You know, this is the internet. People are more understanding to a fault. There's a door here. Pretty swell. There's stuff there. Pretty swell. There's a near there. And he flies on the side. And there's another door. Oh man, this makes a bridge. It's pretty swell. You can press these things. Oh man, that sure was worth it, I guess. That I don't know. Where am I at now? Well, there's a switch. You can tell because it's blue with a red circle. Whoa! All the switches everywhere, like all the wall switches, all the switches in your car engine, all the switches inside a transistor, that's pretty much all their shape. So I just press a switch somewhere, I forgot what it does, there's Sharpie spikes, they're pretty great, I suppose that I lie. Here's a feather that I can stab in my eye again. It's an important part, you know, Mario, everyone doesn't know this, but his power-ups actually come from extreme pain, that they kinda, you know, transform themselves into power-ups, like basically mutations that spontaneously burst out into inside his body. It's pretty Orwellian, but, you know, Nintendo, they try to stay rather hush-hush about that, because it wouldn't be seen as politically correct for some reason. I'm gonna go with the believing of that. Oh man, we're stepping inside a circle! Second bonus game in 3 videos. Well, to be fair, one of these videos was kinda extra length. Oh, I forgot one. I'm shaking such an effort to hit these things. Oh, when I was a kid, you know, I always took the time to line them up and get the 8 1-ups, but as I grow older and I realize that I'm halfway through World 2 and I already got 50 lives almost, maybe it doesn't matter.
This is the part where it gets sped up because some part of the non-sped up leaks through now, I guess. Try to be a bit more better with how I transition through things. Yeah, I've always been bothered in the past by how sometimes I'm turned into chipmunk mode and right in the middle of a sentence. That's just sloppy moppy and everyone has too many marks already. Yeah, I'm kind of forgot a little bit where the other exit is. I'm pretty sure he has a switch that's here. After which, I'm gonna go in the other door, I guess. Sounds like a plan, right? Here, Hackaboo. You got either very thick eyebrows or you got some weird bone protrusion going on, but one would say if a ghost don't have bones, well, they had those when they were alive, and, you know, the shape of a ghost corresponds to the previous whatever it was, so that would still make sense. Like, you know, bones don't have dorsal spines, but these areas do anyways.
You wouldn't need any in order to graze inside the anatomy of man. That's up here again, I think. It's the path you need to go. I don't... Yeah, this is what the switch is for. You go like, oh man, and then you go like, oh man, I skipped out like half the room here because it's kind of unnecessary when you know the pathway. Oh no! It's the Big Boo! He's all glitchy when he's on top of the screen! Oh, whoops, I'm stupid. So yeah, it's Big Boo with a ton of blocks and a generator. Never saw that before. It's especially jarring after, you know, basically Big Boo fights the game with TSRP2. Man, I'm playing like sloppy jello here. It's not good desserts, like, let's be honest here. Really? Why couldn't you oh, before because Big Boo hadn't fall off the screen then, I guess, then. Ah, so lame. and I suppose it can be seen as kawaii. But it's not. It's actually kinda gross. I am not having a lot of luck with them ears here, aren't I? Oh, I am not. Really? Can't spin jump P-switch anymore. I feel sad a little bit. Like, of all things to feel sad about, that's kind of pathetic, but a little. I used to be, like, genuinely pretty good at this engine. Oh, shoot. I sure was used to. Well, like, if I restart and play as much as I did back in the day, I'm supposed to come back eventually. Yay! And when I beat it fully with the might of 1,000 lions that are stapled together and just kind of put in a jar and left abandoned in a market in India somewhere. This is gonna be the 3rd stage level of the day. Oh man, totally not a waste, but I'm kind of running out of time in the real life. All the switches are there, and yeah, if you hadn't made the justification by then, they're all large balls on the map instead of the tiny, small circles. Yes, and they correspond to places that were not in the original game, of course. This is one of those new additions. Then these doors, the red, I forget what it says. The blue one hints about the secret world. It's pretty fancy. I may or may not go back to them. I don't know. I guess next time we're gonna... Wait a second. Okay, yeah, next time we're gonna be starting on this other, branch, I guess, you know? It's like a tree. It splits off in the paths that themselves split off into other paths. Because this is a pretty gnarled tree, mind you. It's pretty old and or sickly. Like, that hill is, kind of a little bit, bald. Oh, I think it's supposed to be a hole. Considering there's smoke going on. Oh man, there's a lava cave in this game, incredible.